Good afternoon everyone. My name is Dr. Aditya Kamineni. I am an Associate Professor of Jbiet, Civil Engineering. So today I would like to talk about the pavement surface characteristics. In highway geometric design, in spite of having all the cross-sectional elements, friction and roughness plays a significant role. Okay? There is a considerable difference between the friction and the roughness. So roughness we calculate over a stretch length, maybe 1 kilometer or half kilometer depending upon the requirement. So the combination or the cumulative number we take altogether, vertical undulation, that is as a roughness. That is also known as a pavement unevenness. But as friction or skid resistance plays a major role in curve designs, especially in the horizontal curve design and if there is a hilly area. So the skid resistance plays a major role with respect to the countering the centrifugal force on the vehicle with respect to the self weight of the vehicle. So let's take the what is the different surface characteristics that are actually considered in spite of having the friction and the roughness being the significant parameters. So those two can be achieved only with deciding based on the sufficient availability of the material. If there is a quarry nearby, that is fine. If it is not available, if there is a material availability, that is fine. If it is not available, there are various grades in like VG10, VG20, VG30. All the bituminous characteristics and the materials we are using, aggregate properties will be affecting the friction, the top layer of the pavement. So volume and composition of the traffic expected. So today it might be 15 or 20% of the traffic. In the next consecutive 10 years, 20 years, it might be different. So that has to be taken into account when you are actually talking about the current design of a particular pavement. And soil subgrade. So which type of soil subgrade on which you are actually constructing the pavement? That makes a lot of difference. Is it a BC soil or it is a silty soil? So everything has to be taken care of because the subgrade properties will ultimately affect the overall effect on the design. So climatic condition, construction facility and the cost consideration. The economics being the significant parameter with respect to the consideration when you are actually designing the highway, when you are actually constructing the highway, when you are actually maintaining the highway. There are three phases. In the three phases, economics plays a major role. So what are the different important characteristics that you need to obtain for having a considerable amount of the traffic flow without any restrictions? One will be friction or skid resistance, the resistance offered by the pavement surface when the vehicle is moving on the road. So the resistance offered by the pavement surface when the vehicle is moving on the road, that happens exactly between at the interface of tire and also the pavement. And the pavement unevenness or the roughness. See, roughness has to be maintained. So the improper maintenance of the road surface for the design period may lead to the unevenness. So when there is an unevenness, the vertical undulations will be changing. When there is a change, the roughness significantly affected over a span of time. And the light reflecting characteristics on the drainage surface of the water, these are significant. So the drainage surface water has to be significant because when there is a water is percolated through the bottommost layers. So ultimately there will be a seepage, ultimately there is a hydroplaning, ultimately so all the layers of the pavement, whether it is a subgrade, whether it is a subbase or a base or the top layer, everything will be affected with the cracks. So those are the significant parameters, and let's classify what are the significant parameters that you need to design with respect to the alignments, whether it is a horizontal alignment or the vertical alignment. One will be skid and one skidding. What is the skidding? See, when you are traveling on a particular road, if you suddenly want to stop the vehicle, you applied a brake. But even after the application of the brakes, the vehicle will be moved to certain distance. It means what? There is a longitudinal distance even though there is a circular motion of the tires has been stopped. That is known as a skid. We need to resist that by providing a proper surface characteristics and slip. So in case of the sandy soil, so if you have ever gone to the beach or something, you might have experienced this stuff. So when the vehicle is continuously moving, means what? The rotating motion will be there but vehicle will not move further because of the side conditions. That is known as a slip. So ultimately there are several factors affecting the friction or the skid resistance. One will be the type of pavement surface. For the bitumen it is different, but the cement concrete it is different. In the bitumen itself, are you obtaining the polymer modified bitumen? Are you designing it as a porous, everything, the porosities, texture, surface, skid resistance and the roughness, everything is an interlinked parameter. And the conditions of the pavement, is it wet or is it dry pavement? In both the conditions, skidding and slipping will be affected and ultimately skid resistance will be affected. And the speed of the vehicle, the speed with which you are moving. If you are designing a national highway, the norms will be different. There the speed is comparatively higher. If you are designing a village road, no, you need to take care of the speed also when you actually want to maintain the friction or skid resistance properly. And the brake efficiency, yes, each vehicle will be having a different brake efficiencies. right? So that is about the break efficiency. And the last one, temperature of the payment. So why temperature of the payment has to be taken into account? Temperature is a very significant parameter when you're talking about the viscoelastic nature of the bitumen. So that's all about it, the various factors affecting the skid resistance. I'm ending this session here. Thank you.